The plane touched down with a hiss as the wheels met the tarmac. 7 months of dust, distant corners of the world, and unrelenting time faded away with that one simple moment. I was home. The small town I left behind now stood before me, its streets familiar, its air warm, carrying the promise of a sanctuary I thought I might never reach. The sun was low in the sky, casting a golden hue across the landscape as I pulled into the driveway. The house sat still and undisturbed, like it had been waiting for me. The porch light flickered on, and a soft wind chime swayed in the breeze. There was a faint trace of vanilla in the air, familiar and comforting. Everything was as it should be, or so I thought. I stepped inside. The silence greeted me first. It was heavy, almost suffocating. My boots echoed in the hall as I dropped my duffel by the door. "Lily? Sarah?" I called, my voice breaking the stillness. No answer. Then movement. From the hallway, my daughter Lily appeared. She was my little girl, but not like I remembered. Her face was bruised, swollen, one eye nearly closed shut. Time seemed to freeze as I stared at her, unable to process the image. I knelt down, voice shaking. "Lily, what happened?" She avoided my gaze, her lip trembling. "I can't," she whispered before her voice broke into uncontrollable sobs. I pulled her into my arms, feeling the tremors running through her small body. "It's okay, baby. You're safe now. Just tell me what happened." Her words came out in broken gasps, each one a dagger. "I walked into your room. Mom was there with a man." I froze, my heart stopped. "Doing things," she continued. "He saw me, got mad, hit me hard. I tried to scream, but Mom, she didn't stop him. She said if I told anyone, he'd kill me." The room spun, and the roar in my ears drowned out everything else. My little girl, my innocent child, had been hurt, and Sarah, my wife, had let it happen. She hadn't stopped it. She had condoned it. I kissed Lily's forehead, swallowing back the bile rising in my throat. "You did the right thing, baby. Go pack your things. You're going to Grandma's tonight." Lily blinked up at me, confusion and fear in her eyes. "What are you going to do?" she asked, her voice small. I stood, feeling something shift inside me, something cold and lethal. "What I should have done a long time ago," I muttered. Later that night, as the house remained eerily still, a storm brewed within me. I sat in the darkness, a glass of whiskey untouched in front of me. The memories of better times, the days Sarah and I married, the birth of Lily, the times we laughed together, came crashing down like waves, each one poisoned by the reality I was facing. Every moment of happiness had been a lie, a thin veil covering the betrayal and cruelty that lurked beneath. At 8:12 p.m., I heard the unmistakable sound of Sarah's car pulling into the driveway. She entered, humming, shopping bag swinging from her arm, her lipstick freshly applied. "Hey, babe, you're back early," she said with a smile, not yet noticing the tension in the air. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I simply stared. She froze, her smile faltering as she noticed the glass of whiskey, the cold silence. Her eyes narrowed, but I didn't respond. Without a word, I placed my phone on the table and pressed play. Lily's voice filled the room, every word drenched in sorrow, every sob cutting through the silence. I watched Sarah's face drain of color as the reality of what she had allowed to happen sank in. "I can explain," she stammered, her voice cracking. "Who is he?" I asked, my tone low, deadly. Her eyes widened as her phone lit up, buzzing on the counter. A message. One name, Mark Reynolds. "Miss you already, tomorrow, same time." The text read, "Mark, the man I had once trusted like a brother. Mark," I repeated, my voice cold, "you let him touch my daughter." Sarah backed away, stumbling over her words. "It wasn't supposed to happen. He panicked. You don't understand." "Call him," I demanded. "Now." She hesitated, her eyes desperate. "Why?" she asked. "Because I want to thank him in person," I said, my voice sharp with fury. Mark arrived in under 30 minutes. Unaware of what awaited him, I watched him from the window, cocky, confident, probably expecting a night of pleasure. Instead, I was the one waiting for him, and what he got wasn't what he had planned. The moment he stepped inside, I was on him, my fist connecting with his face with a sickening crunch. He hit the floor hard, gasping for air, but I was already on him, pinning him down, years of suppressed rage exploding into action. Sarah screamed, but I didn't flinch. I pressed the blade to Mark's throat, feeling his pulse race beneath the steel. "You hit my daughter," I said, my voice steady, unwavering. He pleaded. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean to hurt her. She's just a kid, 10 years old." His voice cracked with fear. "You think that matters?" I snarled. "You touched her and you'll pay." Sarah entered the room, her face pale as she saw the scene unfold. "My wife," I asked, turned to Sarah. "You didn't stop him, did you? You're just as guilty as he is." I didn't think he'd actually. She started to say, but I cut her off. "You didn't stop him. That makes you complicit," I said coldly. I pulled out my phone and began recording. Mark's voice trembled as he confessed, his words spilling out in a panic. The sound of sirens outside interrupted everything. I had already made the call. The police flooded the house. Mark was handcuffed, crying, his pleas falling on deaf ears. Then Sarah was cuffed too, her face crumpling as she looked at me with pleading eyes. "Please, I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen," she whispered. I stared at her, feeling nothing but disgust. "You were supposed to protect her," I said, my voice bitter. "Now watch how I do it." As they were taken away, Lily peeked out from behind the curtain. She was safe. Finally, she was safe. The house was empty now. Quiet. The memories, the laughter, the love that once filled it all seemed like ghosts I needed to let go of. As I walked through the rooms, each one held a painful reminder of what had been lost. But the scent of Sarah's perfume still lingered, and sometimes I swore I could hear Mark's laughter echoing through the walls. But it wouldn't last. I had done what I needed to do. Justice had been served, not through bloodshed, but through truth and control. It was the hardest thing I had ever done, but I had done it. Tomorrow, Lily and I would start over. A new town, a new home, a place where she could be a kid again, without the shadow of fear hanging over her. I would carry the scars, the weight of what had happened, but I would never let her carry that burden. I didn't fight wars overseas just to lose the one at home. She was my everything, and now she knew she was protected. Always.